Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is D&D supplement number 3, Eldritch Wizardry from 1976. This is the first edition. It's from Gygax and Bloom. It says it's rules for fantastic medieval wargame campaigns playable with paper and pencil and miniature figures. What's interesting about this cover is, I don't know if this story is true, but the story I heard is that when Gary Gygax, whoever he had do the cover, when he saw the cover, he hit the roof because back then having a naked lady about to be sacrificed on the cover of a book wasn't socially acceptable or something. But that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. But let's take a look inside. Yep, 1976 is the first edition. Starts with a foreword from the publications editor. And now it's going into the characters here, talking about fighting men, magic users, clerics, druids, all sorts of stuff, and character alignment down here. Cool little picture of a Balrog. The pictures back then weren't as sophisticated as the ones now in the Dungeons & Dragons books, but they're kind of a cool blast from the past. And here's psionic potential. And here's experience points needed to go to higher levels. Statistics regarding classes. Psionic combat. Psionic attack and defense mode. Psionic attacks upon non-psionic. Full psionic combat damage scored. And more of it there. Restoration of psionic energy. Attacks and damage by monster type. Saving throw matrix. And here's a spells table for magic users and druids. Got some cool spells there, actually. And psionic abilities. There's invisibility. Suspend animation. That suspends all bodily functions. Interesting. They had some cool spells back then. I mean, the spells they have now in D&D are cool too, but this is kind of fun to look through. Astral projection, dimension walking, body control, detection of magic, telekinesis, shape alteration, and now it's going into clerics, animal telepathy. And for clerics and druids, first level spells, predict weather, purify water. Yeah, I've never, not in modern D&D games, I've never had a game where you got water and someone needed to purify it. It's just always assumed that it's drinkable water. I don't know, it'd be kind of cool if they went back to the old way where if you weren't sure if it was drinkable or not. Water breathing. Speak with plants. Creeping doom. Alright, here's monsters and treasures, the monsters. And it's going into some monster descriptions now. That's a cool picture. A lot of these, most of these we've heard of, like liches, cockatrices, bacillus, balrogs, all that stuff, greyus, demons. Nice to see the original versions of these, and they got some of these old illustrations. I like them. Kind of cool to see this old artwork. Succubus. Another demon. Orcus. What the... Orcus is a grossly fat demon lord, some 15 feet tall. His huge body is covered with goatish hair, and his head is goat-like, although his horns are similar to those of a ram. Interesting. Here's Demogorgon. I got the figure of that, and I had painted it up, and no one wanted to buy it, which surprised me because Stranger Things used it, and it was kind of popular. So I just decided, I'm gonna keep it. I mean, the paint job I did, in my opinion, on it is pretty good, so might as well keep it, even though it's worth something. Kieran, intellect devourers, cerebral parasites, thought eaters, And here's some of the treasures, like the Mace of Cuthbert and the Axe of the Dwarven Lords. What else we got here? Rod of 7 parts, Hand of Vecna, Iron Flask Attorney the Merciless, Machine of Lum the Mad, Crystal of the Eben Flame, Crowns, Orbs, and Scepters. And here it's going into Artifacts and Relics. And here's Underground Wilderness Adventures. These are the encounters from Astral and Ethereal ones, Psionic counters, Wilderness Wandering Monsters. Cool. So you just roll on these tables to see what you've encountered. Yeah, nice little book. It's fun to see these old books from the 70s, some of this original stuff, to see where modern D&D came from and so forth. Thanks for watching. If you own any of these books, obviously, chime in and tell us some stories about them. Have a good evening.